Wow, I must be in a video making mood this weekend. Actually, this is one I've wanted to make for quite some time. This is the very first stitch I ever learned how to do. It's called the spiral stitch. Some people call it the DNA stitch because it does kind of end up looking like a DNA strand. You start off with two contrasting colors of beads. One of the colors will be your core, and the second color will be your wrap. I have orange and pink here, and these are size 8s, but I think it looks best in size 11s. I'm using 8s so you can see. Pick up 3 of one color and 3 of another color on your needle. Bring your needle up through the bottom of the first 3 and pull tight. And you're going to end up with a little loop that looks like this. Next step, you pick up 1 of the first color and 3 of the second color. The first color is going to be your core, and the second color is going to be your wrap. So from now on, you're going to want 1 core bead and 3 wrap beads. Bring your needle up through the bottom of the previous 2 core beads that you added and the 1 core bead that you just added. You're always going to bring your needle up through 3 beads through this whole shebang. Whoops, I went too far. Where am I? Here we go. Okay, pull tight again. Add 1 core bead and 3 wrap beads. Bring your needle up through the bottom of the last 2 core beads in your previous row and the 1 core bead that you just added. Pull tight, and your wrap beads will rest against the core beads, and you'll start seeing a spiral pattern very, very soon. Again, pick up 1 core bead and 3 wrap beads. Put your needle up through the bottom of the last 2 core beads in your previous row and the 1 core bead that you just added. Pull tight so that the wrap beads rest against the core beads. While holding this in your hand, you're going to want to continuously push the wrap beads against each other so they're not spaced out really far apart. And you'll get a nice coiled wrap. When you're done working, you're going to end up with a long strand like this that you can use any way you want. This looks really loose, and that's because I'm using too big of a bead for the thread. If you use smaller beads, which you should because it just looks better, be careful not to use too wide of a diameter of a thread or cording, because you have to pass through those core beads so many times, and it can get tight very, very quickly, and you won't be able to put your needle up through those core beads. So, you might have to play around with different threads and lines and cords to get just the right one for the beads you're using. You can use inexpensive beads, you can use cheap ones. These bracelets are left over from what I made I made a mountain of these like 10 years ago because I was just so excited. They just look so cute and pretty, and all my daughter's friends were grabbing them out of my box and giving them away, and I couldn't make enough of them for a while there, but it's still a great technique, and you can use it for a lot of different things. Easily make a bracelet by adding a loop to one end of your spiral and a larger bead at the other end of your spiral, and loop that loop of beads over the bigger bead, and you've got yourself a bracelet or a necklace. It makes great, you can use different sizes. There are so many variations to this technique. You can experiment and come up with some really wild, cool stuff. Anyway, this is an easy Christmas present, cheap, easy. You don't need a lot of beads. You don't need expensive beads. It's a great way to use up leftover beads. you know, I hope you enjoy it. This is just a fast one. I wanted to make it for in quite some time, and I finally did. So have a great day. Have a wonderful holiday. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Thanks. Bye.